Hello and welcome back to Crime Recall. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming mysteries. Today, we're delving into the chilling case of the Sodder children disappearance. A case that has captivated the nation and left many unanswered questions for over 7 decades. So let's dive in.
This is Crime Recall.
The Sodder family was an Italian-American family living in the small town of Fayetteville, West Virginia. George and Jennie Sodder had 10 children, but on the fateful night of December 24, 1945, 5 of their children would vanish without a trace, leaving behind a house engulfed in flames and a family searching for answers. The Sodders had just celebrated Christmas Eve with their children, and all seemed well as they settled in for the night. However, the festivities would soon turn into a nightmare as the family was awakened by a fire that engulfed their home. What happened next would spark one of the most perplexing unsolved mysteries in American history. It was around 1 a.m. when Jennie Sodder was awakened by a phone call. The caller, a woman, asked for an unfamiliar name, and then laughed strangely before hanging up. Jennie returned to bed, but was soon awakened again, this time by a loud noise on the roof. Soon after, the smell of smoke filled the air, and George and Jennie quickly realized their house was on fire. George and Jennie frantically tried to save their children. They managed to get 4 of their children out of the house, but the other 5, Maurice, Martha, Louise, Jennie, and Betty, were nowhere to be found, despite their best efforts. The Sodders could not locate them and had to watch in horror as their house burned to the ground. As soon as the fire department arrived, they began searching through the ashes for any trace of the missing children, but nothing was found. No bones, no remains, nothing. A local fire chief declared that the children had likely perished in the fire, and their bodies were completely consumed by the flames. But the Sodders were not convinced. They couldn't accept that the children were gone without any evidence to prove it. And so began the Sodders family's relentless pursuit for the truth. They hired a private investigator, C.C. Tinsley, who quickly uncovered some troubling details. Tinsley discovered that the fire department's response was delayed due to a lack of manpower and functioning equipment. This only fueled the Sodders' suspicion that something more sinister was at play. Furthermore, Tinsley found that a man had threatened George Sodder just weeks before the fire, claimed that his house would be burned down and his children would be taken. Could this have been a premeditated act of arson and kidnapping? And if so, why? Over the years, numerous theories have emerged in an attempt to explain the Sodder children's disappearance. Let's explore some of the most popular ones. Some believe that the Sodder family's Italian heritage and George Sodder's outspoken criticism of Mussolini and the Italian government made them a target for the mafia. It's possible that the fire and kidnapping were acts of retribution against George for his political views. Another theory suggests that the Sodder children were placed in witness protection due to their family's involvement with the mafia or other criminal organizations. In this scenario, the fire would have been staged to make it appear as if the children had perished, allowing them to start new lives under different identities. Some speculate that the Sodders may have had enemies within their own community who wanted to harm the family. This theory posits that the fire was intentionally set and the children were kidnapped by someone who held a grudge against the Sodders. It's also possible that the fire was an accident, and the children's remains were indeed consumed by the flames. Skeptics argue that the intensity of the fire, combined with the fire department's delayed response, could have resulted in the complete destruction of the children's remains. Despite these various theories, the Sodder family remained determined to find the truth behind their children's disappearance. In 1949, they hired a pathologist to conduct a new research of the property. Surprisingly, the search uncovered a small, damaged human vertebrae, which was later determined to belong to a 16 to 22-year-old individual. The finding raised more questions than it answered, as the age range didn't match any of the missing children. Moreover, the vertebrae showed no signs of exposure to fire, further deepening the mystery. The Sodders continued their search for answers, erecting a billboard along the nearby highway, offering a reward for information about their missing children. This billboard would remain in place for nearly 4 decades. Over the years, numerous people have claimed to have seen the Sodder children, both in the United States and abroad. One of the most notable sightings occurred in 1968, when the Sodders received a photograph in the mail of a young man resembling their missing son, Louis. On the back of the photograph, a cryptic message read, "Louis Sodder, I love brother Frankie, a little boys, A90132 or 35. While this sighting was never definitively confirmed, it reinvigorated the Sodders family's hope that their children were still alive. However, despite their tireless efforts, no concrete evidence has ever been found to either confirm or refute the various theories surrounding the children's disappearance. Today, the Sodders children's disappearance remains one of the most enduring unsolved mysteries in American history. With so many unanswered questions, the case continues to captivate the nation and inspire amateur sleuths to search for the truth. Although George and Jennie Sodder both passed away without ever knowing what happened to their children, their descendants continue to search for answers, hoping that one day they will finally uncover the truth behind this chilling mystery. What do you think happened to the Sodder children? Do you believe they perished in the fire? Or is there more to the story? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more unsolved mysteries. Until next time, take care and stay safe.